Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Now tell us your situation.
Um, so I was texting with Meredith. I have been with an individual for 4 years. We became friends in 2017 when we met, and within our friendship, his marriage kind of fell apart. And as a friend, I referred him to get counseling and do anything he could to save his marriage because they had small children, but it ultimately didn't work out. So our friendship continued to grow, and we did end up getting together. We've been together just under 4 years. Well, I've seen a bit of a change in him in the last 4 weeks, and the last year's been really hard. But I try, and anyway, the long story short is I found out on Saturday that he's been seeing his ex-wife, and I'm really struggling with it. And anyway, he's going to be leaving, but I have two children as well that are not his, 15 and 17, and my daughter is devastated, and my son feels abandoned, and I am absolutely broken. And now, since I found out on Saturday about them, he's not even hiding it anymore, so he's still home. He doesn't spend a lot of time there, but he is still home, and now he just talks to her freely and talks about, what their future's going to be and all of the same conversations we used to have.
Wow. When you say he's going to be leaving, he's going to be leaving to move in with her?
Yes.
So what's the holdup? I mean, why is he being so, whimsical with it now and just open and everything else? Like, why doesn't he just go? Why sit around and prolong it? Because if it's putting your kids through all of this peril and you too, I mean, I think that would be the focus, right?
Well, when we bought our home in 2020, we were purchasing it together, but financially there were some things that had come up that prevented him from being on the house. But we worked our tails off to be able to come up with a down payment for this house. Like, this was our dream. So he won't leave unless he gets his half of the down payment back. And I haven't had that liquid to give him. So, I'm doing what I need to do to come up with the money. And recently my brother did help me to come up with the money to give it to him. So that's kind of where we are right now. But he had told me that he wasn't going to leave without the money. So he was just planning on either staying and not paying his half of the mortgage until he got his money's worth, or he just said, he would take whatever he wanted or destroy half of everything. So,
okay. So now there's threats in here. This person sounds like a disgusting human being. I hope you can get him out of the house. I mean, it sounds like he can go into the ex-wife's house. I don't understand why he's still in your house, and he's making your life and the kids' lives very bad at the moment. Is there I don't even know if there's any legal options for you here. I mean, now he's making threats.
There aren't.
No, he lived there, so it's his home.
There.
Yeah.
And so I'm stuck, and I just want out, and I want to get better, and I was just hoping that you guys might.
Well, you know what?
Mindset,
Let's concentrate on you now, because what I will say is you can't control the evil that he hid from you and that he's showing now. That's in him, and he has to deal with that. And honestly, the lady who he left for you is going to have to deal with that too. So that's her problem. Let's eliminate him from a second. Let's talk about you and the two kids that are reeling over this, and what you probably should spend some time understanding and sharing with them is that who we knew isn't necessary, who you loved isn't necessarily who this is. This person, while it hurts, we have to concentrate on us. You have them. They have you. You guys have to create that circle of we are going to support each other. We love each other. We're going to make it through. We have to be you have to be the positive kind of beacon for them, because they're looking at this like, this is so much uncertainty. This is all we really known. Your daughter is reeling over it. So I think you need to concentrate on them and make it less about him. The more you don't let him be divisive in this whole thing and divide and conquer is how you can get your strength back, because you guys will focus on the happiness, do some things together, leave the house, take them to have some fun on just to bring the laughter back. And once he realizes that he's not that thorn in your side, it'll help him expedite his exit. But don't let him control your lives and your happiness. That's the only way you can heal from this, because he's shown, as my grandmama would say, he's showing his ass.
Yeah, big time.
And so you have to, kind of deal with that because of the legality of it, but making it less obvious that he's the center point will probably help him move on faster.
We're getting texts in. Just want to throw this out before we get off the phone with you. A lot of people are saying this, not just one or two, a lot, saying she needs to document and track record of verbal abuse and take him to small claims court and file restraining order, and you can get him out of the house much faster.
Well, there you go. That's even quicker.
Yes. So you might want to, or see if you can legally evict him with a 30-day notice. People are saying that there's a way to get him out of the house.
You have options.
You do. So
do you have anybody who's in the legal kind of space that in your life, like a lawyer or something, that can maybe draw up some things or at least guide you?
No, not really. I mean, I'm sure there's legal aid I can get. I just really wanted to not do this the ugly way, and I'm really just worried. My kids are hurting. I'm hurting. But
defend yourself.
I think I'm going to take your advice and definitely get him out of the house.
Yeah.
Because it's been about begging him to stay and begging him to make it work. And I guess that needs to stop.
Yeah, that needs to stop.
That just shows that you are loyal to almost, like they say, loyal to a fault. Mm-hmm. And you're trying to re-engage something that isn't there. And honestly, I don't really know how you can trust somebody who you watched him do it to someone else. That's the old adage. But now you're seeing him do it again, and he's showing you the underbelly of a really nasty situation. So I think you're better off without it. It might be uncomfortable now, but you'll have a joy with you and your kids immensely after it's over and you're relieved that this is all gone. So everybody who is writing in is trying to help you because they hear the pain that you're going through, but we just want to make sure that you look at all the options. What I gave you was very standard. Mm-hmm. What they're giving you is very specifics, like document it all. Mm-hmm. Make sure that anything he's saying to you, just make sure you have that and share it with somebody, whether it's legal aid or whomever, and then that restraining order might be able to expedite it, okay?
There's ways to get him out. If he's threatening and threatening to destroy property and you have children there, you can get an order of protection. He will have to automatically leave within 24 hours. So definitely talk to somebody that's in, the lawyer legally, and see what your options are.
Okay. See? This is why you guys are the best.
Well, I'm sorry
Let us
you're
know
going through
what
this.
happens,
And trust me, it's going to get a lot better, okay?
Thank you. Take
All
care.
right. Thank you, Sue.
That's so tough.
You can hear it in her voice.
I know. She's going through it right now. I'm sorry.
We got to text somebody else that's going through it. This is heavy. It says, I lost custody of my son a long time ago. I was going through a dark time, and now looking back, I think this was the best thing for all of us. Mm-hmm. I have now been clean for the last 3 years. I have a steady job, and I'm even part of my church. But as terrible as this sounds, I think he's better off without me. I could be back in his life, and but he's been doing so well without his mom. I don't know if this is actually true or if this is just the guilt that I'm feeling from all that has happened. His father is willing, but very, very cautious to have me back around.
I would be too, but you know what? If you can prove yourself, you can, show up and actually be a part of that kid's life when it comes to birthdays and Christmases and all that, that is something you build, the respect, the relationship. You can build that back over time. So they are allowed to be apprehensive, especially you both went through a lot, but you can build up that relationship again. You got to work at it, make it one of your number one priorities because you want a relationship with your kid. That's the most important thing. And I wouldn't want to uproot a kid's life like that, especially if things are going really well for them.
Just all I say is just be proud. Be proud that you made it 3 years, because they say take every day, like one day at a time. And you've made it 3 years. That's something to be celebrated, but don't rush, because everybody's worried about people relapsing because those are real things. And so you don't want to get into the child's life and then make it rough on them. So you don't want them moving backwards. So if any advice we can give, be patient. If 3 years of sobriety is a big deal for you, imagine what 6 will be. Take every day and work your way back into it. But just make sure you take your time. Don't think that you've achieved it and now it's time to run back in. So everybody being pensive is just really concentrating on the child, which is the most important thing.
And I could see how there is quite a bit of guilt built up in you, but don't also remember that you're also part of a success story.
Right.
If you can remain clean and keep it together, this is something that your kid down the line, once they get a little older, can look at like, Mom mom had a hard time, but she fought not just for herself, but for me, for the whole family.
Yeah.
So your book is still being written.
Be
Don't
proud of
forget that.
yourself.
Your book is still being written.
Hey.
You came up with that on your own?
Yeah, it just came to me right
Top
now.
of the dome
Top
right there?
of the dome.
Freestyle.
I'm proud of us
Dobby.
so far. Who
at
is this?
I think we should end it while we cut off right now before we say something stupid.
Right?
We're going to play 2 songs and go.
Yeah, we about to get up out of here. All right, we got part 2 next. Hold on. All right, Therapy Thursday. We got,
I'm nervous now.
man, I'm for real.
We're on a roll.
The pressure is on.
Yeah.
Time to get dumb. Let's see. We got Amber on the phone. Hey, Amber, how you doing this morning? Well, oh, man.
This might be a good thing.
We need to put a ticket in on this phone, boy.
Oh, man.
This
Hold
phone.
on.
All right, there we go. All right, there we go. There's Amber. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
We are great. Let's see. What's your question?
Well, so I'm going through a child support battle.
Ooh.
The father of my 2 children have not seen his children since January 2018. I'm sorry, January 18 to 2022.
Okay.
Okay,
All
all
right.
right.
So, but just about a year.
Yes,
That's
it's
a long
the day
time.
after our oldest's birthday. He showed up for 5 seconds, gave her a box of cereal, clothes that fit a 12-year-old. She's 3, and just all kinds of hand-me-down stuff. Anyway, so she left. He left. He hasn't been there since.
Wow.
We went to court in June to get child support for the second child. He refused to give the new information for the new job in June. So since June, he has not paid his child support. He has not seen his children since January. I lost my mother, buried her, and dealt with Hurricane Ian. I am struggling like there's no tomorrow. He put a new shiny ring on his new girlfriend, bought her Gucci purse with matching slides, and a brand new 2020 car while I'm driving with no AC with his children.
Wow.
He doesn't ask about them. He doesn't call about them, nothing. But he will tell you in a heartbeat that I am keeping them from him and I am racist.
Okay. So
Okay. Yeah.
it's a dirt bag, obviously. I can't believe that there are people out there like this. I mean, are you able to get child support? Were you able to do that? So it's for one of the child. Were you able to do it for the second one?
Well, they approved the first one, and then in June is when we finally got the second one. Like, I fought real hard.
Good for you.
I had to do their job for child support. I had to hunt down his new job. I had to be an FBI agent and all of that just to take care of my children.
Okay, but he's not paying, right?
No, not since June. Ever since the old company sold the new company, he refuses to report the new company.
Well, so I mean, this
You
is
can go
just.
to
I mean,
jail.
that's just a court order. I mean, and you know what you have to do is stop. I get that you're in the investigative mode, but you're looking so far into everything else. Like, he bought her the slides and he did this and that. Like, forget that. This dude is terrible. What you just need to do is make sure that the court's wishes are respected now. So you have to now, in essence, he's going to have to pay that. And he's going to have to get out of trouble. And so that means you're going to have to report it, and he can go to jail. And then if he pays it, he gets out, and everything is clear. He doesn't have to see the kids. If he doesn't want to see them, his loss. But he has to take care of his children. That's not a choice. So you have recourse there as far as a court document that said that he owes a certain amount of money. Back pay, interest, and all those things go along with it. I've watched family members get arrested and chased out of town for child support. So it's very serious.
Here's the thing, though. They haven't done anything. He just got his license, and they haven't suspended them. And because of Hurricane Ian, the state put everything on hold.
Right. They did it with pandemic as well. So I mean, there are things that can hiccup the system, but you still have to the same tenacity that you went after investigating when you said I had to go FBI agent on him is the same tenacity you have to chase him to be held accountable. And you know, it's sad that you have to do that, but in this, you have to, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, whatever. Make sure you make enough noise with the court system to do their job, and then they'll step up and do it. But don't focus your energy on the stuff that you can't control. Let's go after the stuff that you can.
Well, I guess my point being in saying that is just I'm struggling to take care of his children that he practically talked me into having.
Oh no, trust me, he's terrible, and we get that part. And that's not shocking. You've learned if some man has a child and ain't seen him in a year and he's here, we don't even need to discuss that part.
Right.
You know,
Horrible.
we need to discuss. You're focusing on his part. Let's focus on your part and how you can get them to make him do what you need to get done.
Take it day by day.
For
You're doing a
them.
good job, by the way.
But stay with the courts if they're holding it after the storm and after this stuff and they've slowed it down. Make sure you first in line for when they do pick it back up, so they can make sure they're like, listen, this lady's been working at it. She's gonna come here again tomorrow. Let's make sure we get out here now that we've cleared out our schedule. You know what I'm saying? Stay on them.
Judging by the amount of texts that we're getting of people in a very, very similar situation, you're not alone, and it sounds like these courts are backlogged.
Yeah.
So you are going to have to put in a lot of effort, like you were just saying, about put your FBI energy into getting your just due.
Yep.
Yeah.
Practically best friends with the caseworker at the child support office. I call her and ask her by name.
Good
you
for
go.
you. Keep up with it.
Keep that relationship good. If you do have an extra $1 or $2, send her a cup of coffee or something on Uber Eats, because you want to keep that as a friend, because now you have an ally. That's getting you closer to getting the justice that you deserve.
I wanted to DoorDash her lunch, and she said, "No worries, I will get." She'll like the fact that I'll get the help that I'm getting.
That's all right. When you stop by to sign something, bring her some donuts and some coffee.
Yeah.
Just do what you got to do, okay? Just keep her as a friend.
Keep
'Cause
up with it.
With the dude that you've described, you're going to need her as a friend, okay?
Definitely.
All right. Thank you.
For my story, and hopefully that anyone else out there, don't give up, keep pushing.
There you go.
I'm sorry you're going through that.
I hear
It's
you,
tough.
sweetie. I appreciate it.
Dude, there are some crappy people out there. What is going
surprise,
on?
Surprise. That's what I'm saying. It's cuffing season and people out here
Jeez.
acting up. You're
Yeah.
not supposed to be
Real.
doing that.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We got one more here. It says out of the text, out of the 863, have you ever been alone so long that you don't know how to really get back out there? My husband died in active duty 5 years ago, and the dating world is so different to me now, I'm afraid to even try. I'd love any advice for the awkward.
You don't have to jump in. Just dip your toe a little bit. See how the
Tell
water
her, Meredith.
feels.
How you dip
It's
that toe
okay.
in,
Dip
Meredith?
the toe in. You could, pay for, I don't know, some kind of online service. If that freaks you out, you can go out with one of your girlfriends to a bar or to, some sort of nice restaurant. Just slowly ease yourself in. Nobody expects you just to find the love of your life overnight. Of course, that sounds great, and we see movies about that all the time, but that's not necessarily
Start
what's
with a
gonna happen.
social setting. It doesn't have to be centered around dating. Just start with going out, period. That will seem like a tall task in itself. But go with a couple friends, maybe a little drinks, maybe a little happy hour, something to eat. Get used to being out, because it sounds like being out probably isn't something that you do a lot. And then you'll gradually kind of get into the dating vibe and get into the other stuff. But it just starts by leaving your house and going and doing something.
Don't be afraid of awkward either, because there's some awkward dudes out there that ain't got nobody to talk to. And you can mess around and have an awkward couple. You can find you an awkward bond.
Yeah.
It could be, there's nothing wrong with being awkward. So, hey, do what you got to do and get out there and meet some folks. And you never know. If the salespeople come up with that happy hour for us, you can come to our happy hour.
Yes.
I'm still fighting for it.
Let's do that.
I'm still fighting for it, because a lot of people that hit us up in the morning like, damn it, I want to have me a drink before I get home and deal
that'd be
with these
awesome.
little kids.
Yes.
So we're going to find y'all a place to have that. All right? So, ma'am, we on the hunt.
Meet
all
the
right?
freaks.
We are meet the freaks.
Meet the freaks.
Meet the
Let's do
freaks.
it. And y'all
Come
can
on.
meet each other. We'll
Talk
meet
that
you.
talk. See, and we awkward as hell,
love.
so you can definitely come out here with us.